Okay, now that we've got our coconut oil and cacao butter washed Jim Beam black bourbon, what we're going to do is make a little bit of a cocktail for you. This cocktail I'm going to share the recipe with you is one of our bottled cocktails that we serve at BYRDI as part of our retail offering, and it's called Lamington. So it's essentially based around a Manhattan. Is the classic core of this drink. So it's a bourbon whiskey and sweet vermouth, and the sweet vermouth is infused with fresh raspberries. So a Lamington, for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a very traditional Australian dessert. It's a sponge cake with a raspberry jam center. The whole sponge is coated in dark chocolate and then coated in coconut shavings. So we're taking all those flavors and incorporating it in a liquid form in terms of having a bottled cocktail. So I'm going to make it fresh for you today. Really easy. So first of all, we've got our cacao butter washed and coconut oil washed Jim Beam black bourbon. So we want to have a good 50 mils of that. So this is going to have all the characteristics of the original whiskey, and then we're going to have all those really beautiful chocolate coconut flavors that we've introduced as well. Then we've got our sweet vermouth. You can use any sweet vermouth. We'll put the recipe up for you to make at home, but it's a really simple recipe of just incorporating fresh raspberries and letting it sit overnight with a sweet vermouth. So we're going to have 25 mils of the raspberry sweet vermouth. And then just to add a little added sweetness and to really bring out those sort of chocolate notes that we've introduced, we're just going to add 5 mils of a 2-to-1 sugar syrup. Now when you're using something like cacao butter, it's really quite interesting that although it is the base, cacao butter is the basis of a lot of chocolate, it's not sweet like a lot of people think. So by introducing this sugar syrup, it really brings out those flavors and it allows us to associate that with chocolate. So I've got my shaker or my tin with ice. I'm just going to stir that over ice to get it nice and cold. And now we're going to strain that into a glass. Okay, we've got a chilled glass here. I'm just going to strain our Lamington cocktail into the glass like this. And there you go, that's the BYRDI Lamington with the Jim Beam black bourbon. Okay guys, that wraps up our workshop on fats and oils. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Our next workshop is going to be focusing on the topic of sugars and acids.